WPPS TV3 Sports welcomes you to Portland High School football. We now send you up to the booth and welcome in Steve Schwartz on play-by-play and John Coyne on color commentary.
Folks, it's Thanksgiving 2017, and we're here at Fitzpatrick Stadium for the 106th annual Turkey Day game between the Deering Rams and your Portland Bulldogs. This is Steve Schwartz along with John Coyne, Dave Levine on statistics, and Dave Elowich on camera for WPPS TV3 Sports, bringing you all of the action today. John, Portland leads this tremendous rivalry 58-40-7. They've won the last four straight.
Yeah, they have, and over the last 4 years their program's really been strong. Portland High suffered this year a little bit regular season wise, but ended up in the finals against Wyndham, which was something that as we watched the season we weren't sure of at the beginning of the season, but boy, by the end of it they were really gelling. That's
right. So Portland has played the last time about 2 weeks ago, Deering about a month ago. So John, Deering does have some players to watch in terms of Keegan Stanton and Jack Lynch and Travis Soule, who've had some really big games this year for the Rams. They really did have an off year, unfortunately. Portland, on the other hand, the usual suspects.
Right, Deering did have an off year. They did qualify for the playoffs. They had a great game against Lewiston, a team that we saw twice here. Great comeback victory. So we know that they've got something. This means something all the time when we're here at this game between this community. You've got Deering, you've got Portland. These kids grow up together. This is a big game.
Right, and speaking of community, we had a moment to talk with Peter Gribben, longtime announcer, and this is what he had to say, followed by the athletic directors, Mel Craig and Rob O'Leary. Well, it's only fitting that if you're in the Peter Gribben box here at Fitzpatrick Stadium that we have an opportunity to speak with a longtime Portland High School champion, Peter Gribben, who will be announcing the game today as well. Peter, can you tell us some of the more memorable Thanksgiving games that you recall or that you've heard about in the history of this game?
Well, I think the game probably that had the most on the line, it was in 1959. Portland and Deering, the winner was going to be the state champion. So it was really a big game. And they both had very good teams. First half, Portland came out strong, I don't remember the scores in there, but they had a decent lead in there, and it looked like they were in pretty good shape. But unfortunately, Deering had the better second half, came out, and I remember especially a guy from Deering by the name of Joe DiPietro in there, who I think we always kind of suspected, DiPietro's from Deering, and they won the game and they won the state championship, and then somebody just reminded me a little while ago, the other 71 was a snow game, and it started snowing. There must have been 6 or 8 inches of snow on the ground there eventually, and it was a big day for Portland, and they won that one there. But those two, first game I ever came to was 1949. Willie Greenlaw was a freshman in there, and it was a low-scoring game. I can't remember now just quite what the score was, but and I think I've been to every game since in there. So that was one, yeah.
Well, you speak perhaps somewhat disappointed about Deering winning the state championship. Of course, here at Channel 3, we say that the Portland Public Schools cannot lose a game between Deering and Portland. But speaking about the game, and you've obviously been at each and every game for so many years in a row, what does the game mean to you and do you think means to this community?
Well, it's Thanksgiving, it's not Thanksgiving if you're not going to the Deering-Portland football game, and it's just a part of the celebration in there. And of course, the way things been lately is kind of disappointing, but hopefully you come back. And one of the things I think is missing now is that people used to look at it as it was reunion. People would come here and see their classmates or their friends. That's the only time they saw them, perhaps all year long, was to come down here and see them. And I think that's one of the things that has changed in there, and has obviously heard attendance in there. So, but anyway, it's still big part of Thanksgiving, but it's different at this point.
It is indeed, and of course it is the only time this year and in these current years that we see Portland and Deering play. John, why don't you take over?
Sure.
Peter, you headlined the class of 2017 for the Portland High School Hall of Fame. What does that mean to you?
Well, I was saying last night, when you look at the names of the people who are there, really, what a big honor it is in there. And I was saying like last night, like Fitzpatrick, Mr. Fitzpatrick, in there. I can remember being in school with him when I was first started teaching, and he pitched against Babe Ruth in there and struck Babe Ruth out a couple of times down here. And he was in a kicking competition against Jim Thorpe. I mean, those are pretty good names. Yeah. And so, it was really a great honor. It was a nice time, and
Well, you are an icon in this announcing world. For as many years as you've been doing it, I do it at Deering High School, and part of that reason is for the things that you ever did. I mean, you make a kid feel good regardless of what time they get into the match or whatever, and your community involvement at the different schools that you do it at. So it's just a testament of what a wonderful talent you are and a person in general and what you mean to the community. So I want to thank you for that. That's great. We appreciate you being here with us today.
All right, well, John, thank you.
And we want to say happy Thanksgiving to you, and we'll see you in the basketball season at the Expo.
I'll have to get my stats for you.
We'll look forward to it.
All right. Thanks again.
We're here with Rob O'Leary and Mel Craig, the athletic directors of Portland and Deering, along with John. Folks, this is the 106th airing, really, of this great rivalry. You know who leads this rivalry, don't you, Rob?
Yeah, Portland High School leads the rivalry, not by many games, though.
That's right. In fact, this one year, back in 1959, this actually was the state championship game.
Yes, it was. And I do believe I know who won that game that year as well.
Was that the last time they won the game?
Well, actually, I think Portland has won the last 4, but really there's been some great traditions. We actually have a beautiful day today, but in 1971, for example, it was snowing out. What does this game mean to you and to Portland High School?
Well, the tradition of the game is very important to Portland High School, to the alumni, to the Bulldog family. We hear about it every year around this time, about the special meaning of the game. My father, not my father, but someone's father played in the game, son played in the game, the grandparents, just a strong tradition, and it's a great way to spend Thanksgiving morning.
John, I'm going to let you talk to Mel and maybe ask her the same question and a couple others.
Great, thanks. Mel, you've been at Deering for a little bit now, and tell us what it means to the Deering community.
And I think, John, you hit it right on the head. It is a community event. The landscape of athletics, high school athletics, is changing a little bit over the years, but there's a constant, and this game is one of the constants. It's not just a Deering thing or a Portland thing. It truly is our community. So it is when we get together, we call ourselves, Ram family or Bulldog family. This is the one time we all come together, and it really is a bigger event than just on that field.
I agree with you. We've got great weather today. Steve, you spoke of it. About 3-4 years ago, we were plowing the field off right before the game, hoping to get it off. So this has been a great tradition. I'm happy to be a part of it, and I want to thank you guys for being here with us today.
And happy Thanksgiving to both of you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, John.
It's like a softball meeting.
So, John, just as you can see, it's a community effort, really a wonderful opportunity here to bring this game, and we'll bring it to you all in a moment. So here come both teams for the 106th annual Thanksgiving Day game here from Fitzpatrick Stadium this year. So folks, this is also senior day for both football teams here. We're honoring both cheerleaders and football players.
Yeah, it's a wonderful tribute, Steve, to get these athletes out to be honored here at Fitzpatrick on Thanksgiving Day, a culmination of their long careers at both city high schools. They get awarded a rose and a picture with their parents. What we talked about a little bit in pregame, this community type of atmosphere, and continue to grow this game.
Deering High School, Dana Shabbat, accompanied by Barbara Brewer and Steve Shabbat. Portland High School, Madison Mahan. We would like to thank her family for always being supportive. Her mom Lisa, Dad Spillman, Brother Spillman, Sister Mariah, and niece Sierra. From Deering High School, Elsa Heisler. We thank her parents, Anne Marie and Beck Heisler. From Portland High School, Grace Maloney, with the support of parents Ann and Mark, along with sister Bridget. From Deering High School, Katie Tron. Thank you to her parents, Tom Gwen and Kayla Tron. Next, from Portland High School, Lauren Meadows. Thanking her family for all their support. Parents, Dawn and James Meadows, and brother Christian. And from Portland High School, Erin Miglowitz. We'd like to thank her friends and family, parents, Mary and John, along with sister Paige. And now football players, seniors in their last game for Portland of Deering. First, number 17, Quinn Clark. We would like to thank us from Lane Clark, Father Brock Clark, and also Brother Ambrose. From Deering High School, number 2, Luke Harrison. With his parents, Kim Clark, John Harrison. For Portland, number 78, Charlie England, along with his mom Renee, and Mark and Emily. Number 4 for Deering High School, Drew Tillman, with Rebecca Howard and Steve Tillman. For Portland High School, number 20, Griffin Foley, with his mom Trina and family, Peter Foley, Christina and Dave Haley, Kevin Cannon, and Ryan Foley. Deering High School, number 5, Jack Lynch, with Kendra Jarrett and John Lynch. Portland High School, number 59, Randy Mencia, with the support of his mom Dora, sisters Escalita, Rosalina, Isabella, and brothers Nick and Antonio, along with girlfriend Julie. From Deering High School, number 7, Roddy Barnes, accompanied by Chandy and Max Barnes. From Portland High School, number 4, Ron Fox. And Dan Carey. From Deering High School, number 50, Blaze Vale, along with his parents Deborah and Stephen Vale. Portland High School, number 7, co-captain Vinny Pasquale, along with his mom Jane, dad Vincent, and sisters Julia and Francesca. Deering High School, number 54, Irene Scalarhead. From Portland, number 3, Josh Pike, with his mom Angela, along with brother Joe. From Deering High School, Nick Conley, with his dad John. Deering High School, Moises Perez, with parents Maria and Johnny. And from Deering High School, number 68, Owen Martinson, with his parents Bonnie and Wade. From Deering, number 72, Kavala Luca, and our mom Teresa. From Deering, number 75, Nat Hanson, along with his parents Andrea and Stephen. And for Deering High School, number 52, Keegan Stanton Leeds, along with his mom Elizabeth. Cheerleader from Portland High School, Shaylee Wow. And another issue on the list. Here you have the senior cheerleaders and football players from both schools here in their final game in the high school, Portland High School Thanksgiving Day game.
And you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the rampart we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
As always, Steve, here at Thanksgiving Day, a great rendition of the national anthem. It's always great to have one of our students participating. Here we are set for kickoff on the 106 Classic. Quinn Clark puts the ball into play. Travis Soule back at his 15. Brings it out to the right side. Gets up past the 20, crossing across the field. Tackled on the play by number 37, Silo Magno. First tackle of the game, and we're off, Steve.
Well, you did that beautifully, John. It's a beautiful day. You know, the crowd and the stands are starting to fill up here, especially on the near side that we're not covering with the camera right now.
I think it's best to sit across the field today to start this game, Steve, to get out in the sun.
Absolutely. It's 1st and 10. The ball's on the 31. Soule under center. Pitches on the right side. We're going to have a little difficulty here today, John, I think, given the way that the silver numbers on the white uniforms makes it a little bit difficult for us to determine who's carrying the ball.
I think we've got, actually, it looked like Jack Lynch lined up on the center. Sol came in. Sol's wearing the number 1 today.
Well, there you go. And
we'll take it as we can get it across the field here.
Both Lynch and Sol have acted in the role of quarterback this year for Deering. Oh, there's a fumble, and Lynch tries to recover, but he's not going to do it.
Kapongo's all over him right there, and we've seen that a lot this year. Kapongo's really matured this year and brings so much to this Portland High School defense.
Well, as Mike Rutherford said to the Press Herald earlier, they did a piece on Kapongo in the paper this morning, actually, and he said, we don't get to the regional final without Kapongo.
I would concur with Rudy on that one.
He is came here from the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Lynch rolls out right, and he completes to Sol.
It brings them back to the original line of scrimmage, so he picked up what he lost there. Nice rollout. He had some nice protection. Sol's open out in the flats. Portland's going to give that one up every day just to get them back there. It's going to be 4th and 11, it looks like, Steve.
Right, and therefore Vinny Pasquale will be back deep.
And we know what Pasquale can bring here, Steve. We've seen him catch it on the fly, catch it on the bounce, pick it up on the roll. They're all coming in after him.
He picks it up oh my gosh, he goes down. Nice open field tackle there, straight ahead by Denizio Winston Denizio.
So that one there, Steve, you watched Portland High was up on the line. They had all 10 of them up on the line. 8 went in. Zach Elowich stayed back, and another linebacker stayed back. And Vin had really no protection back there. So picking that ball up, he didn't have much of a chance. He tried to make a game of it.
Roddy Rahn was the punter. The quarterback for Portland is Nope today. Sam Nope, number 22.
And Elowich picks up a couple 3 yards in there just off tackle. We've seen this throughout the season. Elowich grinds it inside, then they kind of kick it outside of that quick pass. They make the opponents have to play a little bit wider because of all the talent that they have on the field.
Well, it's interesting as Teron Moss lines up wide right along with Wakati. And Nope rolls out, crushes down, gets the first down at midfield.
So a little bit of a wrinkle here. You've had Teron Moss early in the year, a little bit of break from Teron while he was hurt. Nope was in there during that stint. Nope and Teron switched when Teron got healthy. And maybe this is just a look to the future to let Portland kind of see what Sam Nope can do.
6-yard gain. 1st and 10 on the 50. Nope hands off to Pasquale. He's going to get about 4 on that. He's brought down by number 69, Jason Pichette. It's officially a 3-yard gain. It'll be, according to the scoreboard anyway, it's going to be 2nd and 7. Pasquale on the carry. He's gang tackled.
Nice counter there. Fullback dives into the line, and they counter back with Pasquale. Nope comes to the sideline to take some direction. Bringing in the next play to see what they're able to do here.
It's kind of interesting to see Teron Moss also go out there to get that direction. Clearly pivotal part of the offense all year for the Bulldogs, and I think they're leading touchdown scorer.
Ball's on the ground there. So what something that this gives Moss, we know that Moss was a Class A North All-Star, and he made that as a running back. I think that was in part due to some of the skills that he has out here. But you take a look at this. This opens them up for a little bit of an option. They could have a halfback pass that comes out of that. We saw Tehran's arm clearly develop throughout the season.
Here's an all-conference linebacker and really an all-conference punter, Zach Elowich, but that's blocked, and that was clearly the result of the high snap that he fielded. And the block was made, it looks like it was Jason Pichette again, but again, difficult to tell. It could have also been Owen Martinson.
Well, I'm telling you there, Steve, they're fortunate that Elowich was able to elevate to get up to catch that ball. If they don't, they're Deering High's well past the 30-yard line with the velocity that came from under center.
So Deering with good field position here, starting on Portland's 46, 1st and 10. We've got one in motion. And Sol will take the pitch, but nothing doing, not with Zach Elowich there.
No.
5-yard loss.
Well, Elowich came through there hard. You also had on this side, Kapongo also came in. There was nothing coming out of that backfield, regardless of what way they went. Elowich had a nose on the ball really quick.
Great instincts, great instincts. 2nd and 16 here. As the official scorer gives it a 6-yard loss. And somebody jumped.
So what's interesting here, Steve, you look at just generally when we're here, we've got a lot of parents and a lot of the students just cheering on their teammates. But what you see here, and we talked about earlier with Mr. Gribben, was the fact that these are families. These are sometimes reunions that you don't see your former classmates, and you can look down in the stands here and see the same thing.
2nd and 11 as the offsides is called against Portland. And in on that tackle will be Farnsworth and others.
Drew Tillman picked that up, his first carry of the day, his first action that he's seen. But it's nice to see the crowds are growing as we're here. We have a great day for it, about 40 degrees at kickoff.
The 3-yard gain for Tillman, John. And it is actually a beautiful day here today. Just a lovely Thanksgiving Day here in Portland, Maine. 3rd and 7. Once again, Zach Elowich, front and center, as he wraps up Drew Tillman.
They didn't get back to the original line of scrimmage. That was about a half a yard loss there. Elowich hits hard and hits often for this Portland defense.
Deering is going for it. They're going to try to do a long, well, there you go. Now that, they're going to get the first down too. And that was a great play by Drew Tillman.
You watch that develop, Steve, and the line pulled, and they created a great barrier to get through to the secondary there. You had the entire offensive line coming up and providing protection for him.
The 8-yard carry there for the first down.
You can see the long locks of Matt Hansen out there, and as he came up, we're going to get a measurement here. They're bringing the chain crew across. It'll be interesting to see where the placement was. I mean, from here it kind of looked like that, but again, we're not on the field to see exactly where forward motion was stopped.
One of the chain crew, one of the downs markers people or folks is Mr. Ferranti, the coach of the softball team. So we'll see. It is a first down. There's 5 minutes left here in the first quarter, and the score is Portland nothing, Deering nothing. So Portland, Deering will be 1st and 10 on the 36 of Portland. Tillman gets the carry and quickly swarmed by a host of Bulldogs, again led by Elowich. Farnsworth, Mariba there as well. And here you go. Be about 2nd and 9 on the 1-yard carry. You know, things are starting to fill in nicely here, John. And I think I dare say this year's crowd is bigger than last year's.
I agree with you there, Steve.
And last year there was a push to get a crowd. There's some trouble. Farnsworth chasing. Great time and protection there for Jack Lynch as he really was moving around quite well. But it's an incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd and 9.
So we got 3rd and 9 here. We got just 4 minutes to go. That was a nice pickup. They had to get this first down. A couple of plays that just didn't go their way with about a yard pickup. And we'll see what Deering can do and what Portland's thinking here.
Well, we have a flag on the field. It's an ineligible player.
Yeah, and I think that's due in part, Steve, to the scrambling. The lineman just doesn't stay within that range and just fades down the field a bit.
3rd and 9 from the 35. Lynch in the gun. Boom. Intended for Travis Soule.
Yeah, they throw outside and he's looking inside. So just not the best throw there that they could have.
All right, Mariba there though, and you know Mariba's just a sophomore. We've been calling his name a lot in these games, and that bodes well for the future of Portland football as well. Just under 4 minutes left here. The score is 0-0 here on WPPS TV3. This is the 106th Thanksgiving Day Classic. Steve Schwartz and John Coyne bringing it to you here from Fitzpatrick Stadium. Play action. Lynch nowhere to really go, so he'll throw it out of bounds.
They're in 4-down territory on the 35-yard line. There's a line of scrimmage, so I would imagine that they went for that last one, and imagine Coach Jackson will go again.
What we do know also is Deering really doesn't have a kicking game. They had, I think, just one extra point all year this year. And in most of their touchdowns, they actually went for 2 points.
We'll stand corrected there as a bit cold this morning. That was 4th down, so I missed a down there.
Well, here you go. Well, and I'm not so sure you missed a down. I think the scoreboard was a little. What would have happened was I think that penalty resulted in a loss of down, and it just wasn't reflected on the scoreboard. So 3.5 minutes left here. It'll be 2nd and 9. And another play action here as rolling out to Elowich is Nope, and Elowich will pick up a few. I don't know, John, but it seems as though you can see Sam Nope playing with a fair amount of confidence today. And I think one of the issues is, you know, he was out of the frying pan and into the fire at the beginning of the year with the injury to Wataki and before Moss came aboard. And he's playing with a lot of confidence today.
He sure is. He had that early season stuff, and I'm sure for the last couple of weeks that they've been in the classroom and watching film, and he's been able to pick up a lot into this position and now putting it into practice.
3rd and 3. The pitch will come to Pasquale. There is a hold. There's a flag on the field. We'll see what the call is.
That was thrown quick. That came up just almost as Pasquale got the ball. So.
Well, we have an illegal block on the part of Portland.
Chop block. So somebody in the interior came across and hit a Deering defender below the knees within that tackle-to-tackle box, which is a area of concern throughout all levels of football. As you get these massive linemen coming across there, they certainly don't need to be chopped out by anybody, and safety is of the utmost concern for our high school athletes.
Well, it's going to be walked back a country mile here.
Now that's a big one. That's a big penalty, a 15-yarder.
It's going to be 3rd and 18. Nope is being chased.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, you know, let me tell you, Pasquale and Mariba combined to avoid an intercept, to knock away that interception, really. Great defensive play in the secondary.
Randy Rarn got his hands on that, and I bet you that he wishes, the ball wasn't a tight spiral, so it's a little bit harder to field and with the other hands that were in there, but I bet you he wishes he had that one back.
So at 4th and 20, and that one is going to go into the end zone.
Kick it out.
Yeah, I mean, Zach Elowich is taken down in the end zone. It's a safety. And goodness gracious, you know, you've got the class of Class A North and really a Class A in terms of punting, but obviously the ball's got to come to him in a way that he can kick it.
So it's just uncharacteristic. We haven't seen this all year long. Zach's been able to field that really well. So it's an unfortunate turn of events. We'll have a kickoff with Deering High School up 2-0 in this 106th Classic.
So a strange turn of events here. Quinn Clark now to kick off from the 20. And he gets it down to Soul at about the 35. 40-50 across midfield, and he's down to about the 43, where Deering will take over 1st and 10 with a 2-0 lead. So now Deering takes over 1st and 10 on the 43. Seems like they were just down here, John.
I agree with you, Steve. They are on fire right now. We haven't had really a lot of offense on either side. A first down here or there. Cold morning. Both squads are just probably excited, all jacked up. It's Thanksgiving Day. Their fathers and brothers and cousins have played in this game, but now it's their time to shine. We're almost down with the first quarter, so we've talked about it. There's a pretty good crowd here. We're seeing a lot of different offense out of Portland High School. Maybe something instituted over the last couple of weeks to try to work towards their strengths and see what they have here.
Well, it's a 2-yard gain for Lynch. Elowich and Pasquale in on that tackle. We have just about under a minute left here. A little bit of interesting maneuvers here on the line. And
going to have a delay of game.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a timeout, actually. We avoided the flag. Our referee acknowledges Coach Jackson calling a timeout as they're managing the clock on their side. So you got Tommy Kilbride back there. Let the flag fly, but he's not within earshot of the coaching staff on the sideline. So after this timeout with 41 seconds left, we'll be back.
Here we are now, 2nd and 8 from the 41. Play action, back to throw is Lynch. A little too far ahead of his intended receiver, who is, I believe, Winston Denizio.
Denizio, we've mentioned his name a couple times here, Steve. Looks like a decent athlete for Deering High School, and he was open. He was out there. He had some space.
Pasquale was on him. So it's going to be 3rd down and 8 here. Again, play action. Lynch being chased. Oh my gosh, almost a miraculous one-handed grab there by Michael Randall, although he would have been out of bounds when he came down.
He certainly elevated for that one, and Jack Lynch was just praying that he got rid of that ball. I could hear Kapongo coming in behind him. Interesting as we look here, Steve, down in the front row, we've got some of Portland's finest alumni coming in wearing their Letterman's jacket. Nick Archambault, Joe Esposito's there. We've got a variety of alumni here at the game to support their teammates, their former teammates, former classmates.
It's great to see them. We see Batchelder over on the left as well, number 5. Quarterback.
Rob Honeywell's down there.
Yeah. And again, it was really kind of actually a little unclear who that was really for, as there were two in that route that could have grabbed that ball, but went a little higher for one, a little low for the other.
Again, they were in that four down area. You talked about it earlier, Steve. No kicking game to speak of from that side, and they're going to go for it on all 4 downs.
Teron Moss now is at quarterback, so a familiar sight to Bulldogs fans. He's in the gun right now, and he's going to take the ball. He's going to go out to the right side, look for an open place, and nice tackle by, I believe, Keegan Stanton.
Stanton's been a big name for Deering High School for the last couple of years, Steve, defensively. And you can hear the siren in the background. Deering High School up 2-0.
Okay, we're about ready to start second quarter action. John, Portland escapes relatively unscathed. 2nd and 5 from the 46 now, but with just a 2-point safety. The score is 2-0 as Elowich bulls up. The indication is of a fumble, but we'll get the official word here in a moment.
Well, I see Elowich with the ball still in his hand, so we see what's going on.
Well, they're going to call it a fumble and Deering's ball.
Well, it would be interesting to see, and maybe we'll have to go to the truck to see what happened there on replay. We'll get the end zone camera, or maybe we got to hit Henry up for a little bit of that in the budget next year to get a second camera.
Good luck.
Yeah, I think, Steve, part of this giving thanks is thanking TV3 for being able to do this for the year. And as many years as we've been doing this now, it's an honor and a privilege to be able to do this weekly with you guys. And I just want to thank Henry Gio for all the support that he gives us.
We do indeed. Our great station manager, and we're very grateful to the school department and to Channel 3 for this opportunity. So
That looks more rugby-esque out there, a little bit of a scrum.
Yeah, I'm afraid it does. Although, again, I think first and foremost in on that was Charlie Egland.
Yeah, Keegan Stanton, wearing the number 88, picks up about a yard there, and easily, I think we had 20 of the 22 people in that scrum.
So it'll be 2nd and 9 from the 48. Rolling out to the right is Lynch. He's got Soul on the right, who's driven out by Moss. And he was out kind of far there when he was hit. He took a quick look at Tehran and went on his way. It is a first down for Deering.
So then this is interesting with Lynch. Lynch just signed a national letter of intent to play baseball at the next level. He's a very talented baseball player for the Deering High School squad.
Where's he going to play? Do we know?
You know, I'd have to go back and research that, but I know that they had a ceremony last week, and Josh Stoll, his baseball coach there, is very happy that he's going to play at the next level.
That was a 9-yard gain for the first down. A little confusion here on the line. 1st and 10 from the 39. And, whoa. That is big trucking along.
That's Keegan Stanton.
Touchdown for Stanton. That's a 39-yard run.
He certainly did. He got out of there quick, and you saw that Portland defender trying to hold on to him by the jersey, and there was nothing happening there. Not going to take him down by a jersey tackle, so that puts up 8-0 with 10:46 remaining here in the first half of the 106th Thanksgiving Day Classic.
So back to kick is Ahmed Habibzai. He'll try to make it a 9-point lead for the Rams. The holder is Michael Randall. It's a high snap, it's up, and it is good. So with 10:46 left in the first half of the 106th Thanksgiving Day Classic, the score, Deering Rams 9, Portland Bulldogs nothing. We're back, folks. Deering will kick off, and it will be Habibzai. And he's got it up to the short back here. Wakati, who's
they're ruling down by contact, but you could see that they're going after the ball. Randy Rarn had a hold of that really tight. Wakati lets that ball drop. That's a dangerous thing as a kick returner, because that ball's live as soon as it leaves the kicker's foot. Dangerous thing to go there. The Portland does retain possession, which is great for them, and they've got the ball on the 33.
It's going to be 1st and 10 here now. We still have Tehran Moss at quarterback. He's in the gun. He's got Elowich with him in the backfield, actually 3 wide right. So a little go route here as they're all going to go on the right side, and Moss is going to air it out. And he completes it to Nope. Nope gets down all the way to the 25. There's a flag on the field.
We'll check and see what that is, but boy, oh boy, was Sam Nope wide open. He had to stop to catch that ball from Moss. And, by the clapping of the hands, it looks like that's going to be against the Deering Rams.
It's a 40-yard completion. Oh, no, goodness. It's all coming back. This year the Rams actually had 3 50-yard plays called back in one game against EL. So, they're no stranger to having big plays called back either, but goodness. Wow,
so that's a big That's a big one.
But, you know, there's an interesting thing here. So there's a 20-yard pickup before the penalty, John. So the Dogs get credit for that. When the holding's downfield, that's what happens. So there you have it. So we'll take the 20. It'll be 1st and 10 from midfield. Oh, a little bit of a... Well, that's interesting. The ball went down on the ground, and the referee called it down at that point.
I think he's going to rule that Moss, in the effort to pick it up, his knee hit the ground. In high school football, your knee hits the ground, you're done.
I think you're absolutely right, John. So it's going to be 1st and 15 on a 5-yard loss there. Ball on the 45. You know, Portland had some difficulty, quite a bit of difficulty executing in Wyndham, where that freeze. We had some difficulty executing in Wyndham, for gosh sakes. John Kilbride and I that night. It was absolutely freezing, John, while you were, I believe, in sunny Morocco.
Yes, we were. It was a bit chilly there at 60 and a little windy, which is more winter-like for the Moroccans, which I was ready to walk around in shorts and a T-shirt, but they were all fleeced up and hatted up and scarves, and boy, I would have stuck out like a sore thumb in shorts over there. But great to be there. Daughter Cassidy Coyne, class of 2016 out of Deering High School, studying abroad with the University of New England. And the chance to see your child thrive in a foreign land was a great opportunity for my wife and I. My wife, who's a Portland High School alumni, class of 1985, and Patty Grassi.
You know, I just have to ask. It's sorry to sound cliche, but did you ride the Marrakesh Express?
Well, we did not. Marrakesh is a little bit south of Tangier. It would have taken a decent a train ride, but that often comes up in our conversations.
Moss gets a few on that one. And it's going to be fourth. Let's see, it's 4th down here. Zach Elowich set to kick, and so Michael Randall will step back deep for the Rams here. Ball at midfield. Deering with a 9-0 lead with 8 minutes left here in the first half. And it looks like we're going to have a timeout. Here we go, folks. Now the Dogs are going to go for it here. Not even a fake. It's just they're going to go for it. And so Moss airs it out deep to Pasquale, but it is intercepted.
That's Keegan Stanton back there. Keegan Stanton's having a good game, and you can see him shaking his head right there. Intercepts the ball on the 13-yard line, and that brings Deering's offense there. I mean, I'm sure he's going to have a quick talking to. This is his last game for Deering High School, but that would have been a knockdown, and the ball would have been up around the 50-yard line.
Well, that's actually a very interesting perspective, because now it just became a really nice punt.
Yes.
Essentially. As Deering is deep into its own territory here. And they'll start in 1st and 10 with just under 8 minutes to go in the first half. The ball will be at the 13-yard line, 1st and 10. And all the way on the left side is Lynch, and he's driven out of bounds, and actually he's thrown down pretty hard there by Cam Conley.
Steve, I'd be remiss at this point after mentioning 3 out of the 4 Coynes, not mentioning my daughter Delaney Coyne, who's home from her senior year, 2014 Deering High School graduate. She'll graduate from the University of Maine Farmington this year.
Well,
can't leave one out when we're talking about family.
So as we talk about things that we're thankful for, I'll talk about my family as well. We have 3 graduates from Portland High School: Lenny, Andrew, and Jack Schwartz, all here from various locations in the country. It'll be 2nd and 2 on the 21. Oh, goodness gracious. That is Drew Tillman deep into the secondary of Portland, where he's brought down by Randy Mancia.
Yeah, you can see the emotion from the Deering Rams today. They're excited. They're getting done what they need to get done. Portland's going to have to adjust here at halftime and see what they can do to turn up that enthusiasm and get those competitive juices flowing. Good halftime speech here by the coaching staff to get that going.
7.5 minutes left as the clock ticks down here. It's 9-0. 1st and 10 from the 43. Lynch in the gun. Finds a hole and picks up about 3.
A pretty good hit there when Lynch came through.
So, of course, I graduated from Deering in '78, so I'm a Ram, but my heart is where my sons went to school, playing various sports, soccer, wrestling, lacrosse were their big 3 sports, I'd say. And we had the honor of Lenny Schwartz being the wrestling captain one year and Andrew Schwartz being lacrosse captain for a year. And should also mention my wife Susie, a graduate of Lower Merion High School, Kobe Bryant's high school, also Alexander Haig's. 2nd and 7 here. And we have delay.
A little bit too much time ticks off the clock. That'll be a quick 5-yard penalty for the Rams. Hey, you're right, Steve. It is a time to be thankful for what you have and what we've been able to do here daily in the Portland community. Grateful for our families, our extended families.
Watch out. There's a
Tillman didn't quite get that handoff from Lynch really clean, and fortunate for the Rams that he was able to pick that up quickly. Their Darian Darling was out there with the potential to pick that ball up.
It was a 7-yard loss. It's going to be 3rd and 20 here for the Rams, and 5:45 left here in the first half.
Ooh.
The high pitch is taken by Tillman, but he's brought down after just gaining a couple of them back.
Rams are fortunate there that he was able to field that pitch again. That ball get up there high, and he was able to hook it and bring it down.
You know, what's interesting is the crowd continues to expand here, John.
It's good to see. I think there was a lot of publicity, a lot of work went into this year's matchup. And when you talk about it a couple of years ago, when people were talking about, is this it? And I think the community kind of heard that. These aren't the crowds of the 70s and 80s when you and I used to come down here, Steve, but they're getting better. And if Portland, the city of Portland, continues to invest in this game, that can get back to where it needs to be.
There's so many other interests and such, but my gosh, on a beautiful day like today, this is what you'd hope for. It'll roll out of bounds at the 30, and Portland will take over. They've got 70 yards to go to try to score and get some momentum going into halftime. So here we go now, 1st and 10 from the 32. Moss keeps it straight up the middle. And just swarmed by the Bulldogs, and really just comes out of the pack there. Ultimately, he's brought down.
Well, that was a great run by Moss there, keeping the legs chugging. Picks up a couple of extra yards.
1st and 10 here.
You know, and this kind of crosses over, Steve, here in Portland as this week starts the winter sports season. So many of these athletes are pulling double duty this week. We know Moss is a basketball player. We've got wrestlers out there. We've got hockey players out there, and they're pulling double duty.
So fakes it to Elowich, and Moss will come outside here, and you have to wonder when that whistle's going to be blown, as forward progress was stopped, and number 72, big Kabbalah Muka, gets credit for that tackle. What's also nice to see out here is, is a lot of families out here today. Certainly we're on the Bulldog side here. We see a lot of Bulldog families. We assume the same is going on across the way. And I think this crowd is just the spark that this game needed. So here we go, 2nd and 10, as it was no gain. Moss now up the middle, and nice job.
I agree with you, Steve. This is a great crowd in the talk in the community. We've seen it social media. We've seen it all over the place in the press. Whether or not this game is something that should be continued, and I think you and I agree that the tradition here is fabulous. Maybe it takes a couple of interested groups from both the high schools to kind of combine and put something together as a kind of a future building thing for this. Maybe some sort of foundation that concentrates on this on a year-round basis to make sure that this happens.
Well, it certainly doesn't hurt to see the crowds that are here now. We see Jake Nope here as well, and and as you suggested, they're all wearing their football jackets, which is really a nice thing to see. That they care enough about it to come back and celebrate Thanksgiving.
And it's nice they're the younger kids. They still fit in their Letterman's jackets. They're only a couple of years out, so they still work and fit into them. I would hazard to say those of us out of school for as long as we have been might not be able to grab our Letterman's coat and throw them on like we did when we were younger. And then again, there are others that probably could.
1st and 10.
Like my 145-pound jacket?
Yeah, and look, a few yards there for Moss, but clearly the game plan is back to what I think brought them to the playoffs, which was Moss carrying and having a running game out there and the occasional pass that kind of mixed it up. We've got a timeout, Portland. So with 2:04 left in the first half, the score: Deering Rams 9, Portland Bulldogs nothing. Here on WPPS TV3. Here we are, folks. 2nd and 7 from the 42. Moss in the gun. He's got Pasquale in motion. Looks to the right. He's rolling right, and he is going to get the first down and more. Still on his feet. Cuts through again.
Boy.
Finally brought. Well, he still wasn't brought down. He rolled over, never went down.
I think they'd rule him down on the tackle by Lynch there, because it looks like his knee may have hit, but never say die, and we've seen that all year from Tehran.
27-yard gain for Tehran, or 25 or so, and that bodes well here for Portland with 1:49 left. Well, the flag is down. Portland's walking back. And that was all for naught, John.
It's unfortunate they've been bit a couple of times.
Not all for that.
Yeah, it's actually a late holding, I guess, once again in the backfield, so or in the secondary. So that results in Portland being 3rd and about 1. Or 2nd and 1, because the down goes over again. So here we are now with Moss in the gun. He's like, well, I'm going to get the first down anyway. I'm going to get it the hard way over there on the right.
And Michael Randall picks up the tackle for the Rams on that one. And yeah, exactly, Steve. I think we just ran it well. Let's try to run it to the other, run the same thing again, see if we can execute.
Wow.
That's unfortunate for them. They do pick up the first down. The clock will start to run as soon as they get the down markers down.
Let me just say that David Levine is earning his keep here today because he's had to, constantly recalculate the yardage. Especially on these plays where there's, half gains, 40 down to 20. That last one there with Tehran. But here we are now. It's 1st and 10 with the ball on the 33. I'd say Dave Levine and Dave Elowich earn every bit that they get paid, and so do we, John, by the way. I think I should be paid 10 times what I get paid.
That's right.
Look at Pasquale with a nice run. Takes a couple of Rams to pull him down here, but there's a minute 15 left, and the clock is stopped here for a moment.
Pasquale showed a lot of patience there, Steve, and let his offensive lineman stand up there and keep him going. He didn't get out in front of them. The clock stopped for the first down.
Yeah, and there you go. So 10-yard gain here for Pasquale. 1st and 10. The ball on the 22. Moss in the gun. Elowich in the backfield. He's got wide out right. He's got Pasquale in motion. Tehran steps up into the pocket. Nice. He's got to protect that ball. And really does a great job bringing it down to the 10. Very close here to the, it's going to be a first down, I think.
Well, Moss really put a lick on Amani Peebles-Gorham there. He was going to tackle him, but boy, didn't he, he ran right over him.
So that was a 10-yard gain, and it's now going to be 1st and 10 from the 12. Under a minute to go here, and wouldn't it be great for the Dogs, if you're a Dogs fan, for them to get on the board here heading into a halftime. Elowich bulls it straight up the middle.
So we got a Portland High School timeout with 51 seconds left. The Rams are up 9-0, and we'll be back after the timeout. Steve.
So Zach Elowich with the 3-yard carry. Now it's 2nd and 7. The ball is on the 9. 51 seconds left. There's one timeout remaining here, each team. Nope is in motion. And Moss now.
Ooh, baby.
As he spun around, but he, gets down close to the first down.
Kabala Muka put a lick on him down there. We're going to have another timeout for...
Well, probably the Dogs, as Moss gets a 5-yard gain. And 37 seconds are left here in the first half. Here we go now. 3rd and 3. Ball is on the 4. No, and that's a nice stop by Deering. Looks like Michael Randall and company. But we do have a first down.
Someone's down on the field.
Oh, our player's down on the field, actually, and that's a Portland player. So we'll take a timeout with 30 seconds left here in the first half. So we've got Koa Farnsworth coming off here, kind of gingerly holding his left shoulder. It's going to be 1st and goal to go from the 2.
Koa Farnsworth, a junior.
Here comes Moss. He's going to try to get in, and he does. He crosses the plane. It's a touchdown. Tehran Moss, 2-yard run. His 64th yards of the game here. Rushing, and the Dogs are now on the board. It's 9-6, and it looks like Quinn Clark's going to come out as they'll try to get the extra point here, and it's a great momentum builder here heading into halftime. We've just got 18 seconds left here in the first half. A high snap, it's up, and it is good. Goodness. It's 9-7, as that was a tipped ball. We'll be back with the kickoff in a moment. yeah, you can tell.
I'm just saying, I would probably want to 2. I don't know why. Now it feels like what should be. Seriously. We don't have.
Steve will have to eat that turkey at halftime.
Everything.
Oh yeah, or at the end, one way or the other. Here we go. Quinn Clark now to kick off. He's going to squib it. And it's going to be picked up by the front lineman here and just downed by Michael Randall.
Yeah, great idea. Great idea to get that clock stopped. Give the Rams with 17 and a half seconds here. A couple of shots with the ball. If they choose to do that, they may choose to go in at halftime, take one knee, and then get out of here.
If they do that, they'll go in with a lead of 2 points, and that's exactly what they will do. So it's halftime here at the 106th Thanksgiving Day Classic with the score, the Deering Rams 9 and the Portland Bulldogs 7.
Portland High School Football Hall of Fame, followed by a joint exercise by the Portland and Deering cheerleaders.
Well, as you can hear, my broadcast partner Steve Schwartz is doing double duties today. He's going to announce the Hall of Fame for the Portland High School.
Most successful football coach, winning 4 titles in his 5 seasons as our head coach. He also coached Portland High School basketball and baseball teams in championship seasons. Coach Osborne went on to coach many years at Arlington High School in Massachusetts. He's inducted posthumously as he passed away in 1945. Our next honoree was a star player of the very talented 1969 Bulldog team. He was a 2A starter, the leading scorer, was recognized as the team's most versatile player, and was also named to the All-State 1969 team. Jim Colello, class of 1970.
It's Jim Colello, the class of 1970, Portland High's member of the 2017 Hall of Fame induction.
Our third inductee was a 3-letter man and also known for his versatility, an outstanding defensive back and running back. As a senior, he was honored as an all-state selection, both offensively and defensively. Joel Connick, class of 1996.
Yeah, Joel Connick being acknowledged, the class of 1996. His accolades are being read by Steve Schwartz.
Miller was a 3-year letterman and was also selected as an all-state offensive lineman his senior year. He went on to an outstanding career at UMO, where he was a 4-year starter, twice earned All-Yankee Conference and All-New England honors. For the past 13 years, he has been the head coach of Red Riot football in South Portland. Steve Stinson, class of 1992.
That's Steve Stinson, class of 1992, Portland High alumni and current South Portland High School coach.
Was a 3-year letterman and another 2-way player, linebacker and running back. Offensively, he still ranks very high among the all-time Portland High School scorers. He went on to play more football at Greensboro College and now resides in North Charleston, South Carolina, have released it. Unfortunately, he is unable to be here today. Scott Tomes, class of 1998.
Scott Toms, class of 1998, unable to be here, living in North Carolina.
Our final inductee played only 1 year of organized football, and it was in 1952 on the junior flag football team. However, he has been the announcer of the Portland High School football games for the last 52 years. And we announce here today from inside the booth named after him. A member of the Portland High School class of 1957. Let's give it up for Peter Griffin.
And there you have it, Peter Griffin, the last inductee and really the head of the class for the 2017 Portland High School Football Hall of Fame. Peter brings a lot to the field every time that he's in the box. It's a great honor to be able to share the box, and most of us do what we do because of Peter Griffin and what he was able to provide to all the athletes here in the city of Portland. So a fitting tribute to all of our inductees into the Portland High School Hall of Fame.
So here it is, halftime, John, and it's a close game and something that we didn't necessarily expect.
Absolutely. You look at this season, and I kind of think as Portland's season ended, we expected this to be a really runaway game for the Dogs.
So, folks, we had an opportunity to speak with Frank Myatt about the oncoming basketball season, and as John and I enjoy our turkey, we will go ahead and show you that interview. So, folks, this is the championship ring. Portland High School had their second state championship in a row for basketball. Coach Joe Russo, of course, brought that to us as he's done 2 out of the last 3 years. I'm joined now at halftime by Frank Myatt. Frank and I are going to bring you the basketball season. Frank, what do we have in store for us this year?
Well, I think the big question is going to be, how does Coach Russo replace Charlie Lyle and Clay Hardy? Those 2 big losses in addition to Tommy Joyce and John Bento. But really, who's going to step up and control the boards? We've seen Charlie Lyle for the last 3 years being enforced on the inside, and whether it's a Trey Ballou who steps up or someone else unforeseen, I think that'll be the narrative this year.
Oh, and so we've had Teron here playing football, doing a great job. Injured a little bit. Now he's back on track, of course. Griffin Foley not even suited up today. Of course, we're a little bit concerned about him with his, I believe, a high ankle sprain. But thoughts on that?
Well, and again, it's football. That's what you're in for, playing football. But I'm sure that Coach Russo will breathe a little easier after this game's over, with Teron focusing solely on basketball for the next couple months. And really, for those guys, just a matter of getting them in basketball shape coming off the football field.
Well, folks, Frank and I are going to look forward to bringing you all of the exciting boys basketball action in the season to come.
Thanks, Steve.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you too.
So, Steve, there, that onside kick, the Deering Rams were able to put one in, make a recovery.
And now a big, lumbering fullback going all the way up on the right side, and there's a horse collar tackle there by Teron on the 1.
Keegan Stanton puts in a nice run, a 54-yard run to get him down to the 1-yard line. So, boy, oh boy, what happened at halftime there, Steve?
Well, I mean, there was it was an interesting kind of chain of events. We had some technical difficulties, but there was an attempt at a short squib kick that was called back for a penalty. We have a flag down on the play right now on the right, and it's a false start for Deering, so it'll be brought back 5 yards, and they'll have a little tougher time to bring it in here. But and then there was an onside kick, which was by design and almost expected by the defense, and unfortunately, the Rams recovered. If you're a Dogs fan, if you're a Rams fan, you're happy.
That's right. Little bit of trickery to start that half off.
So looking for some room and not finding it as Pasquale and company throwing back. As
they strung Drew Tillman out there wide. He was unable to get around that corner when he did. When he tried, Portland High was there to meet him in a hurry.
Here we go.
Ooh, baby. Kabbalah is all over Tillman on that one. He might have gained a yard. And a Deering player kind of slow getting up there. Slow getting up as there is Terlaji.
You know, he made a really nice tackle before, and I just avoided saying his name because I couldn't pronounce it. So I think it's a great tribute to you, John. It's going to be 3rd and goal from the 5.
Well, this would be a big stop for the Dogs, Steve, if they can get that after Keegan Stanton's outstanding run, almost a 50-yard run. If they can stop this here, that'll be great for them at this point early in the second half. And it looks like they're going to be able to do that with Koa Farnsworth really getting in there and Deering getting taken down by the end of it at the 10-yard line.
And Jonah Green also on that stop really prevented that, and I shouldn't say it was a goal to go because the ball initially started way back on the 14.
Well, they're going to bring Habibzai out for a field goal attempt.
No, you know, it's an interesting move because it would make it possibly a
it'd be a 2-score game if he makes this.
2-score game. And here we go. It's blocked.
Still in play.
Watch out, though. Yeah. And Kapongo blocked it and then also brought down the surging player. So.
Well, big move there. That's got to fire this sideline up. The Bulldogs are got to be excited after giving up that extended play to Keegan Stanton to be able to stop and gain possession without any more damage to the scoreboard. 9-7 with the Deering High School lead here just into the second half. 9.5 minutes left in this third quarter.
And Portland takes over on the, let's see, the ball looks like it's on the 29-yard line, 1st and 10. Fake, but nobody really fooled there for Deering as it looks like Chauncey Alato, number 53 in on that tackle.
Yeah, 3 or 4. Did we see flags there? It looks as though they're going to march something off on against the Dogs.
It looks like an illegal block. Tehran is limping over for instructions here. Dogs are going to be brought back far.
I think he'd be limping, or it could just be cold out there, Steve. I know halftime that tried to spend a little bit of time moving the legs just to get the blood flowing. Nice. That was a nice halftime ceremony for the class of 2017 Hall of Fame, and great that you were able to bring that to this great crowd that's here in honor of those that were inducted.
Well, thank you kindly. It was a great honor to announce all of them, and of course. Our colleague and legend, Peter Gribben. Okay, wide open is Nope. And it was 1st and 25, and he made it about 28 yards.
That's the second time we've seen Nope get out there and just be wide open, and Moss has hit him. Nope's had to actually slow down to make sure that he could catch that ball.
You know, and part of that is just a function of running the ball so much that you open up those lanes, and it's just not expected.
Right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, it got to be. It is honorable to be up here in the Peter Gribben press box, and I talked about it a little bit in the interview that we had with Peter earlier on, but doing the work that I do at Deering High School has been inspired by the level that Peter's done it, one for over the years, but his professionalism and how he makes these young athletes feel. And I've often joked it didn't matter if you were up 30 or down 30. Peter announced you as though you were a Class A state champion, and really gives you a lot to think about when you're getting onto the field and hear that. So I owe a lot of what I do to Peter Gribben, and been a part of that over these years, and he's just a wonderful person.
Oh, gosh. And he's a wealth of knowledge and just such a gentleman, and what an honor it is to as you say, to work up here. And again, we're very thankful for that. I had an opportunity to visit at halftime briefly with the Superintendent Xavier Botano, as well as some other counselors and school committee members. And it's great to see them here on this wonderful day. So back to throw, and tipped away there by Randall.
As I believe we have seen a series of Portland City officials here. Our mayor, Ethan Strimling's been around. Councilor Pius Ali, Sarah Thompson, who's a class of, I believe, 87. She was Sarah Jordan then. Also in the crowd today is former Councilor Dory Waxman, and newly voted on South Portland Mayor Linda Cohen, who was our city clerk here for many years, is here in attendance.
And you know who else is in attendance? Our former school board chair and city councilor, John Coyne, right in the booth with us. Yeah. Great service to our city, John. Airing it out is Teron Moss. Tipped away and almost caught anyway by Pasquale, but Roddy Ron continues to work hard and get his hand on that ball.
Yeah, that was great there. It just speaks to the athleticism of Vin Pasquale. Even with a tip ball, Pasquale put himself in a position. You want to see your D-back knock that ball down, not kind of tip it up, but fortunate for the Rams that Ron was able to get his hand on it.
Yeah, so here is Zach Elowich ready to receive the ball. Again high, and it's blocked again. Oh my goodness gracious, coming right through is Terlagi, and he just blocks it. That's the second blocked punt of this game.
We didn't see that at all during the season. And Terlagi, if he had a blue uniform on, it would be more appropriate for the amount of time he spent in that backfield on these punting formations. You can't see it here as the action takes off as to what's going on that offensive line at that point. But he's been back there twice.
Well, it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Rams on the Dogs' 25-yard line. They have an excellent scoring opportunity here now with 7:14 left in the third quarter. Rolling out to his left. Oh, my goodness. All the way on the left side, very close to...
That's Stanton again. Stanton's having an outstanding game for the Rams. That ball was almost on the carpet when he was able to pick that up. He's playing inspired early in the second half. Long gain. He was interviewed on TV8 by our friend Travis Lee earlier, and there was talk, wanting to win this game. He and Griffin Foley basically saying that if this ever got canceled, and if it was this year, this would be the one to win, to be on that side. And Stanton's really taking it to heart.
17-yard gain. It's 1st and goal. The ball is on the 8. Oh, and what a beautiful play there. Great fake by Lynch. And the Rams are in. It's a touchdown. Stanton this year has had an 84-yard touchdown reception from Lynch. Another pass from Lynch, I believe an 88-yard pass from Lynch as well. He also, in the Bonnie Eagle game, had a 60-yard run for a touchdown, a 38-yard run for a touchdown. And he really is a big player, and he's a big guy. He's hard to bring down.
Sure is, at 6'1" and 220.
Well, if Deering didn't have a kicking game, you wouldn't know it today, as Habibzai splits the uprights there, and it's going to be actually, I believe, Deering 16 and Portland 7 with just under 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Habibzai to kick off now. Moss will take it on the right side. He has one touchdown this year on a kickoff return. This time he gets a very nice return back, brings it up all the way up to almost the way up to midfield.
Now there's really nobody deep back there that you want to kick off to. We're going to have a hold signaled by our official. Going to bring that ball back from the point of the foul,
and it was close to where he picked it up. So.
Wow. Well, this is like early season kind of stuff here, and these boys didn't have much of a layoff, so I'm not quite sure what's going on, but it's still, we talked about it, Steve. The game's still well within reach. Portland's been able to hit quick and hit hard. It's 16 to 7, so we're at least in a 2-possession game. For the Dogs, they've got to put two in to win, but they can do it. They've got enough explosiveness. But I was saying that kickoffs, there's nobody back there you want to kick to. You don't want to kick to Moss. You don't want to kick to Vin Pasquale or Ben Stasium. I mean, they've all been decent players.
Well, it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 16, so deep in their own territory. There's a whistle, there's a flag on the play. The early indication is offsides, but we'll see. It is offsides Deering, so it'll be 1st and 5, I believe, for the Dogs with the ball on the 21.
So this is just what the doctor ordered for this game, to be able to, have a competitive game. We haven't had a lot of competitive games over the last 2 or 3 years. And, for the Rams to be up at this point, I'm not sure that anybody really would have predicted this, especially the way and the strength that Portland High ended their season.
So Moss rolls out right, and he's got trouble. He tries to get out of it, but finally he's actually wrapped up by Kabala Muka. And that's a loss.
Yeah, it's a little bit of confusion. It'd be interesting to see how they come out of this, because this is 2nd down now and a long, long way to long 9 yards. Kabala Muka there on the end is a large physical specimen for the Deering Rams, and he's been able to create a little bit of havoc in that backfield.
Well, 2nd and 10. Moss back to throw. He's being chased. He's going to air it out. Oh, my goodness. In and out of the hands of Silo Magno.
The Silo was there. He really put himself in a decent position in between himself and the ball and the defender. He actually, if you run that back a bit, you can see him calling for it from Moss and giving him the look like I'm open, and Moss was able to see that communication and took a shot at it.
No. 3rd and 10 here now from the 16. And 4 set to go for the Dogs. Oh my goodness. So it looked like Nope was trying to get a kind of a lay of the land, and it stopped just for a moment there, and that was overthrown. So now it'll be a punting situation for Zach Elowich. And the thing is, nothing is really sure today, John. I mean, there's been, if among other things that you could rely on this year, certainly is the sure foot of Zach Elowich to get that ball out of there.
Well, he's got to be able to get it to his foot, and he hasn't had the opportunity. Talaj has been in the backfield a couple of times. We got a nice snap, and Elowich will get a great punt off here.
Yeah, and we're going to take a little bit of a Portland bounce here. It'll get past midfield and go down to about the 46-yard line, where the Rams will take over with 5:30 left to go in the third quarter. The score: the Rams 16, the Dogs 7. Here we go. So nothing doing there, as it's a loss of about 3.
So a good crowd here, Steve. You can still see, even after halftime, where we've got 5 minutes left here in this third quarter, still a healthy crowd here. Just that injection that this event needed, the support of the community.
It's actually going to be 2nd and 14, as it was a 4-yard loss. You know, and there's a flag on the play. Looks like it's going to be a motion penalty against Deering.
Yeah, their right tackle pulled out a little bit early, and he knew it. You know, he knew it as soon as he pulled out. He kind of whipped his head like, yeah, I shouldn't be here right now. The Deering's digging themselves into a little bit of a hole here. And we'll see if Portland can capitalize, and if this defense can kind of lock down and force a punt. We've got 2nd and 14.
Ball's on the 42. Lynch to throw. Nice tackle by Magno as the pass is completed to Denizio. And he really only gained about 3 yards on that, though. It's going to be a 2nd and 11. Or, excuse me, 3rd and 11. And he gets credit for a 2-yard gain, and it's 3rd and 12. So an opportunity here for the Dogs if they can stop. Rolling out to his left is Lynch. He's got a screen pass here to Tillman. And he's going to be brought down shy of the first down.
That's a respectable pickup for Deering, but in Portland wasn't going to give up that long ball there, and they'll give up a few with 12 to go for a first down, and we'll see what Coach Jackson does for the Rams.
The Rams are coached by Jason Jackson, Jamal Murph, John Hardy, Sean Green, Rob Dacey, Wes Davis.
And with 4th and 4 to go, they're going to go for it.
So an opportunity.
Oh.
And that is exactly what Deering wanted.
Well executed hard count. You know, it's you can see that coming out of Jack Lynch. He kind of barking out there, getting it going. He was able to induce his the defensive lineman of Portland High to jump.
And that results in a Rams first down. So 1st and 10 from the 43.
Geez, that's Stanton. What 6'1", 220, gets wrapped up at the line, but still gets he ends up going about 3 yards east and west, but hard to bring that young man down.
Well, it'll be 2nd down and about 8 to go. The ball on the 39. The key here is that Deering is on the move once again and with a 16-7 lead.
Ooh.
Yeah, and actually, Denizio looked like he was going to be open, but it was overthrown. And
there's got to be some miscommunication there. I wonder if Denizio was supposed to go out and up, and he went down and in. Just the way that Lynch threw that ball, I mean, it looked pretty scripted as he was supposed to be there. But again, we're not 100% sure about what's going on. But what we do have to comment about is that this is the most competitive game that's been played here in the last 2 weeks. We had 3 state championships played here, all total blowout games. So it's great to have the last game played here on Fitzpatrick, a very, very competitive game.
Well, that's a good point. And Scarborough actually came away with the Class A state championship. And nice job escaping Stasium's rush. The safety blitz on. And it's going to be 4th down, though. And again, we'll see what Deering will do here as Pasquale will head back. It looks like Travis Soul is their punter, if I see a number 1 down there.
So we get Pasquale back for our Bulldogs here, and we've talked about it game after game through this entire season. Pasquale's a danger back there.
No.
They got to put all 10 up on that line, so he's not going to have anybody back there to defend him. If he's going to make it happen, he's going to make it happen himself. But that ball will roll deep into the Portland end.
Goodness gracious. It'll be 1st and 10. Portland from the 5-yard line. The score is 16-7. The Rams are in control. So deep in their own territory here, Moss will take the ball on the right side, and he'll get through. Little hole there, brings him about a 7-yard gain or so.
Gets him out of the shadow of the end zone.
Now you can see some of the crowd starting to leave. I mean, but there are young children here. There are dinners to have.
Sure is the dinner for our house. I know the bird's done, so we'll be getting there soon. But time for them to have some good family time together.
You know, I got to say that the Patriots had I think it was Antoine Smith had some Patriots at his house one year. They cooked 3 different turkeys 3 different ways: smoked, grilled, and fried. And we're going to have some fried turkeys today at the Elowich household. We're looking forward to that. Little outdoor football. Outdoor screen football. We have a timeout here, folks. So with 48 seconds left here in the 3rd, the score is 16-7. The Rams in front. Exactly. So here we go now. 2nd and 3. The ball is on the 12. After the timeout, we'll see what Coach Hartman has in mind. And it's going to be a handoff straight up the middle.
Elowich, surely that's exactly what they needed there to gain that. Just as we came back, I was wondering if Elowich's name hasn't been called much here in the second half offensively, and when they have had success, as we watched throughout the season, we saw Elowich in the mixing in a grinding run in the middle. One thing of note, we've got Koa Farnsworth back in street clothes for the second half. That injury is a little bit more than just a little stinger to keep him out.
Vinny Pasquale breaks away. He had 3 tacklers on him now, and he's going to go all the way for a touchdown.
Well, if they needed a spark, Vin Pasquale gave it to him. Pasquale's sparked this squad many, many times throughout the season, and in a matter of seconds, how he gets through there, that's reminiscent of the Elowich play in Bangor, where we thought that one was dead, and Elowich pops out. How Pasquale gets out of that, I don't know. But boy, what a great effort by Vin Pasquale just to keep that going, and going into the 4th quarter just to really explode.
Now, that's an 81-yard run for Vinny Pasquale. Quinn Clark in to kick the extra point to try to bring the Dogs to within 2. And we have a timeout, Portland.
Portland High didn't have enough people on the field. The officials noticed and gave Coach Hartman the heads up, and Hartman's got to call a timeout to get his extra point team on the field.
So Quinn Clark in now to try to kick the extra point, bring the Dogs to within 2. It's up and it's through. So the score is 16-14, just under a minute to play. I think the interesting thing here, John, if you look at the timeouts left, Deering's got 3, Portland's got 1.
Absolutely. Portland can't ill afford to have to call one here. You're looking at Deering going into this final quarter, able to really manage the clock to their needs. If they need to stop it to gain the ball back, or if Coach Jackson needs to stop it just for a moment with his team, he's got that luxury right now.
We'll be back with the kickoff in a moment. Quinn Clark now to kick off for the Dogs from the 40. Boom. Picked up at the 15 by Tillman. Watch out, folks. So the interesting thing there is how he got there. But boy, what a return, John.
Yeah, he picks that ball up and he goes wide left. There was a considerable amount of presence of Portland High players there. Takes that wide. There's a block that really opens it up. And we talked about going into the fourth quarter and Portland being able to capitalize on that score. This certainly doesn't help them.
16-14 is the score. We'll be back. 1st and 10 from the 37. 1 in motion. And a quick handoff, but whoa.
Well, now that's a matchup right there, Steve. You got 6'1" Keegan Stanton, about 6'2", 6'3" Nathan Kapongo. You got about 500 pounds of flesh there that hit each other, and boy, it was the immovable force against the unstoppable object. There was nothing going there. Maybe a 1-yard gain by Keegan Stanton.
Kapongo listed at 6'5" in the program. I don't think he's quite that tall, but he is a formidable presence on the field.
I want to see that again. I want to see who wins that one.
2nd and 9. Ball's on the 36. And coming the other way is Soul. There's a flag on the play.
Well, I got to tell you, Steve, Teron Moss really turns that play in. He gets penetration coming from the defensive secondary. He gets into that backfield, and they make Soul turn up the field instead of getting wide. Soul gets wide on that play, and there's trouble for the Portland Bulldogs.
That's a holding call there, John. So it's going to come back here for the Rams. It's actually more than let's see. It's a 15-yard penalty. No, 10-yard. So there you have it. It'll be an illegal block to the back. So 2nd and long. 2nd and 21. We'll see if that's ruled a catch. And it is. They got a couple back. Denizio caught that. Really, it's actually quite a good game here today, and people would do well to stay in their seats to see the end of it. It's 3rd and 17 here from the 44. Rolling out to his left is Lynch. He's got 1 with the ball, and he's going to be brought down. Tillman before the first down marker. 15-yard gain. Will be 3rd and about 2. Or rather 4th and about 2. So They're deep in Portland territory here, and they're going to go for it, John.
Absolutely, Steve. We've seen Habib's eye from 27, 30 yards. This would be a long one. It'd be about a 30, 45-yard field goal for him. They've got the capacity to pick up these 3 yards if they want to.
And they're going to get it, I mean, because they're going to hand it off to a big Keegan Stanton.
Yeah, we had a flag deep in the Portland secondary, so it'll be interesting to see. We got Charlie Eglin giving it a clap there, so
another illegal block on the part of Deering.
Well, that's good for the Dogs to pick up that penalty.
We're into the fourth quarter here. There's just about a couple minutes into it here. The score is 16-14. The Rams are leading here on WPPS TV3. Steve Schwartz and John Coyne bringing you all of the action as we have all year for WPPS TV3. Beautiful day here at Fitzpatrick Stadium. It's sunny. It's about 40 degrees. And that's perhaps being a little generous. It's a little windy today, too, but certainly not like it was in Wyndham for the Class A North Championship game.
Well, let's see if we have the same thing again. If we have a handoff to...
Now, this time it's the quarterback keeper straight up the middle, and he gets the first down and more.
Well, Lynch was able to call his own number there. He runs off between the guard tackle gap and picks up that first down again on 5 yards. It's not the gain that Stanton had, but it's also, like we talked about, Steve, Deering's able to control this clock in their run game, throw in a pass every once in a while, but boy, they really got some control here.
Well, and if they score, it's a two-possession game, and Portland will have its work cut out for it to try to get past that. 1st and 10 from the 24. And ultimately, the tackle is by Cam Conley. Getting up slowly is going to be Stanton as he came around the left side here.
Well, Stanton's really had an outstanding game for the Rams today, and Jack Lynch has led this offense well from Deering's side of the ball.
It was a 7-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 3 from the 17. And it's just going to keep it and run straight ahead. And it took a couple of Bulldogs to bring him down. to Ron Moss, one of them.
He's got to be seeing something as that defense sets up to call his number twice like that. He hasn't done that a lot during the game, but being in the gun, he's got to be picking something up to get this done, and he's done it well in these last couple runs.
Well, it's 1st and goal from the 8 now for the Rams as the Rams threaten. Okay, there's a muff on the handoff exchange, on the snap exchange, and going down with the ball there is Lynch.
Yeah, it looked almost like he got going a little bit quick. You know, he calling for the snap and started to lean a bit. And that's we got a 4-yard loss on that in the backfield. So he's smart to fall on it instead of trying to pick it up.
It'll be 2nd and goal from the 12. And he'll keep it again, but this time, my goodness, he escapes the clutches of Kapongo and ultimately is brought down by, I think, Keller Sims.
He's got to have grease on his uniform to get out of Kapongo's grasp, because Kapongo's pretty solid in there. Makes that move, turns his shoulders a little sideways, but that was That was interesting. We haven't seen that happen to Kapongo this year.
I'm not sure that was Sims. It might have been Silo Magno, 37. But in any event, it's going to be Deering taking a timeout. The score is 16-14, just under 7 minutes to go in regulation of this game. So a very big play here now as it's 3rd and goal from the 8. The key is for the Dogs to try to stop the Rams from scoring a touchdown. And, well, that is oh, goodness gracious, though. What a great catch by Soul. He went down, but it looks like they're going to put him down on the 1.
Yeah, he made a reach for that, and that ball popped out. If there was any controversy, they'd probably rule that he was down by contact. But the ball did squirt out there. You're going to have 4th and goal to go, it looks like, from the 2.
Well, again, an incredibly important defensive stand here for the Dogs. Yeah. And that is going to be a Rams touchdown.
That's the game.
So it's 22-14 right now. And it looks like, well, we're not sure what the Rams are going to do at the moment. Although,
well, Habib's eyes hit for a couple of extra points, but it doesn't look like he's out there. If they put 2 points on, it's going to definitely extend the game to a two possession game.
Yeah, and this time he stopped as a nice stop there by Pasquale. So it's 22-14, 6:09 left in this contest.
A little bit of trouble with the wind there, knocks the ball down on Habib's eye.
So it could be a one-possession game here, John, if the Dogs could score and then get a 2-point conversion. And here comes Pasquale with the ball. He's going to try to go the other way, but my goodness, he is swarmed, and Deering really has had some excellent coverage here today. There is a flag on the play.
It's going to go against, looks like it's going to go against Deering High School. I think maybe the initial indication was a hold.
Well, we have a face mask on the part of Deering. So that's going to be 15 yards and give Portland a real chance here.
It certainly opens it up for the Bulldogs. Really, they've been bit. They've had a couple of long receptions called back for penalties. This is the first real one that's hit the Rams that bad, but it's to the benefit of the Portland Bulldogs.
One of their longest plays, a 15-yard penalty, unfortunately, but also you can't do that. So it's 1st and 10 from the 43. Moss is in the gun. Hands off to Elowich. Elowich is met by a wall, though. See if he gets forward progress for a couple of yards here. He does. So it'll be 2nd and 8.
Second down and 8.
Teron back to throw. Well, you see, he was looking so instead he's just going to go to the right down the sideline, and he's knocked out by Stanton. What a tremendous gain as Wakati did not get open. But About a 31-yard gain for Moss, which will be the largest gain from scrimmage here today.
Yeah, the longest
right.
one for longest run.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow, that was a pretty significant hit Stanton put on Tehran to end that run. Just what the Dogs needed with just over 5 minutes left in this 106th Turkey Day matchup. Ooh.
Well, let's see. It's going to be ruled as an incomplete pass. Looked like Wakati had caught it, but we were somewhat shielded. So it'll be 2nd and 10. Just under 5 minutes left. Ball still in the 34. So here we go. Pasquale's got the ball on the left side. He's looking for a hole. Hesitated there. Try to watch that hole develop. He does gain a few.
So going to be third down and 8 for our boys in blue.
It's an important down here for the Dogs as
these guys are in 4-down territory right now, Steve, with just over 4 minutes left. They've got 2 plays to gain these last 7 yards, so pick up 3-4 at least here.
Yeah, so Moss is getting chased and creamed at the end.
Well, he picks up a good amount of that 7 yards that they need. They've the 8 yards by the scoreboard, so he picks up a bunch. Is still held short, but I guarantee you that they're going to go for this one on 4th down.
The question is, will they do a sweep? Will they run Elowich up the middle? Will Tehran keep it? 4 minutes left now. The clock ticks down. 22-14 is the score. The Rams in front. It's 4th and 3. And they're going to throw it. Well, Tehran fakes it. Instead, he gets the first down and more. He's brought down at about the 12 or 13 yard line.
And he takes a good shot as he's tackled out of bounds. I think they give momentum to that one as he was probably in the grasp for the first step and a half and then gets taken down. He got taken down hard, but pretty smart play there. Rolls out, gives a little pump fake in order to freeze the defensive backs, and he's able to get out there and get that first down.
But a 14-yard gain, and now it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 13. The Dogs are on the march here.
Yeah.
Zach Elowich gets the ball. He goes up the middle and gains a couple.
There we go. Mix Elowich in there. That's been a recipe for success offensively. I mean, we saw it in Bangor, really. It took off the Elowich Express there offensively and then continued in that the game in Oxford Hills. Zach had a great game as well. Against Lewiston, he played well.
Really a breakout game there, too. But, of course, the Bangor score was a 56-0 affair. Bulldog win. Moss now will carry to the left side.
Ooh, babe.
And once again, he is just hugged. he's a well-loved player, don't you think, John?
He sure is. He was wrapped up. It was that he was certainly not going to make that turn. Randy Rarn, a name that we've heard a couple of times here for Deering today, in on that tackle.
Now, my roster says Rardy Rarn.
Yes, it does. And that might be.
So it's 3rd and 3. Ball's on about the 7. Moss back to throw once again. He's looking, and then doesn't find anything, but instead he gets down very, very close to the first down.
And it looks like the placement, they're going to give him 1st and goal to go from the 3.
And then no doubt they'll go for 2 if they can bring it in, because that will tie the game.
Wow, they're going to measure that there. So it's too close to call for our officiating staff. They'll walk that another 5 feet onto the field to get the official measurement, and it doesn't look as though they got it, because they're moving that whole chain crew to the hash mark, so that's usually indicative of they want to make sure they get the correct measurement. And you can see our official's hand about probably 5 lengths away from the first down. So even though it looked good from here, a mile and a half away, those guys that are down there mark it, and we're going to have 4th and inches for a first down. One would say that they hand off inside either to Elowich to bring it through, or Moss just to bull his way through there. And it looks like they're going to call Moss's number, and
Well, it looks like he'll get the first down, but we'll see. They're saying no.
He went off guard, and this is going to be an interesting spot.
Yeah, very interesting. Had a chance to say hello to Dylan Bolduck, who came by, another of the stalwart players for the Bulldogs here visiting.
We're going to have a measurement here again.
Well, this is the most important measurement of the year, certainly.
It sure is. I mean, this is termed officially as an exhibition game, but there's not a lot of exhibition here. This is for bragging rights in the city of Portland. First down for Portland High School.
Oh my gosh, that was crucial. You could hear a pin drop in this stadium too, John.
You sure could.
They were even looking right there, and no one knew.
So we are just under 2 minutes here. 22-14 is the score. The Dogs are threatening here now as it is 1st and goal from the 3.
And time is running, Steve. We've got just about a minute and a half left.
So Moss is looking, and it is broken up.
Silo Magno just out of reach of that. He might have gotten his fingertips on that, but that stops the clock with 1 minute and 23 left for us.
Well, this is, we have a Bulldog player getting up slowly, and he's tying his shoe. Okay, that's okay. Tehran's tying his shoe.
That sounds like a title of a childhood book. Tehran's tying his shoe.
So, 2nd and goal now from the 3. And rolling to his right and looking to the left, and wide open is Vinny Pasquale for the 3-yard touchdown.
So we go back to that play right before that, the roll out to Silo Magno with 1 timeout left and a minute and a half. If the Dogs run that and they don't make that, it's a pretty good strategic play. If it's an incomplete pass right there, the clock's going to stop. If he catches it, it's a touchdown. So I mean, if you look at it from that point of view, could have been a decent play.
So Portland now coming back from having called their last timeout, an important timeout here, as this is clearly the most important play of the game here for the Dogs. Teron Moss is taken down, and that is going to probably be all she wrote here for the Portland Bulldogs in the 106th running of the Thanksgiving Day Classic. I mean, there's still a kickoff here to go and some special teams work, so it's never really over until it's over, but with 1:20 left. So we'll see what's going to happen here, as it's Quinn Clark is no doubt going to take an onside kick. We have a little bit of...
Well, you look at the personnel that's out there. You've got Moss out there. You've got Alowich, Nope, and Pasquale are in close. It's clearly indicative of Portland. Deering High's up with their hands team.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good kick, but it's going to be fouled on by. Is that Stanton again? Let's see. No, that's going to be, I believe, Michael Randall. Or is it? It was Stanton, maybe.
23 was picked it up, so I think you're right.
Yeah,
Randall.
And that's going to do it, because all you're going to need to do here is take a couple of knees. Well, Deering's going to take a timeout just to prolong the agony here. So the score is 22-20 with 1:19 left. Okay, folks, so here we are. Rudy Rutherford's still on the field here after that touchdown. It's almost like he wants to play, and boy, it would be a heck of a thing to have him out there, let me tell you. But this time around, it's going to be a knee. And probably just one more, and that'll do it.
So they'll let that tick down, Steve. They're going to have one more snap to put the ball into play. They'll let that ball, let the time get under 30 seconds. Take that victory formation, Deering will, and snap the ball.
And folks, that's going to do it. The Bulldogs are going to be defeated today. Congratulations to the Deering Rams as they defeat the Bulldogs today, 22-20. And John and I will be back to wrap up in a moment. So the 106th Turkey Day, the Deering Rams defeat the Dogs 22-0. Some really superlative players today, 100 yards from Moss and Pasquale, Stanton on the other side of the ball, Lynch a couple of touchdown runs. All around, a great game today, and the Rams come out on top.
It sure was. Both schools came out here. We really saw a lot from the community as we came out. We talked to a bunch of people throughout the game. Great thing for our community. Deering comes out on top. They haven't done that in a while, and you get hats off to Deering with a 22-20 victory.
That's right, folks. We want to thank you for the opportunity to have been able to bring you the games all year long. We thank Dave Levine on statistics, Dave Elowich on camera. We thank John Kilbride for coming in and helping us, and Jeff Johnson for coming in and helping us. And really, we're just honored to have been able to have brought this to you this year. We enjoy doing it a great deal, and the Dogs, of course, we hope to do it again in the years to come.
Absolutely. Thank you, Steve, and thanks to our staff. It's been a great season, and I'll hand it back to you.
Okay, happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and so long. The Bulldogs are defeated 22-0.